I want to share something with you that might change the way you see this very moment in your life. The loneliness you've been feeling is not random, nor is it a punishment. It has a reason, a pulse, a deeper design woven into it. And once you see it clearly, you may never look at your solitude the same way again. That quiet stretch of silence you've been walking through, the empty spaces where once there were voices, the sense that people have drifted from your orbit, it's not because you're unworthy or because you've failed. It's a mark, a sign, a passage. It may sound strange, but if you've been feeling isolated lately, you are far from alone in this. Many have been carrying the same weight in recent weeks, and there's something important behind it. September itself has been a threshold month, a kind of spiritual furnace, a place of testing and refining. The universe has been filtering, drawing lines, and stripping away distractions. Every friendship that cracked, every relationship that dissolved, every door that quietly closed wasn't proof of something broken in you. It was part of the trial. It was the fire designed to burn away what couldn't travel forward with you. And now, here at the end of September, you are still standing. That matters more than you know. You've reached the deadline, and you passed. Not because you forced connections, not because you clung to what no longer fit, but because you survived the silence. You stood when others collapsed. You kept walking even when no one was walking beside you. That kind of endurance marks you as different. Here's what many won't say out loud. People are not avoiding you because you're strange or broken. They are reacting to the energy you carry. You can be the most loving, kind-hearted, and gentle person in a room and still feel as though people keep their distance. But this isn't rejection, it's recognition. Your spirit carries something rare, and rare things cannot blend into the background. Your energy glows, and that glow can feel like a mirror others aren't ready to look into. It reminds them of their own shadows, their unhealed places, and that can be unsettling. Even well-meaning people may step back, not because you've done anything wrong, but because they can't yet understand what makes you feel so different. That is why relationships on this path can't be forced. Not everyone is ready to meet your spirit where it lives. Some may need more time. Some may never be able to. And that is okay. They are not rejecting you. They are reacting to the presence of something rare and powerful. So instead of shrinking yourself, instead of twisting your light to make others more comfortable, stand as you are. Be open. Be kind. Let those who are meant to align with your soul find their way to you at the pace they are able. The right ones will not be afraid of your glow. They will see it for what it is, truth, not threat. And why now? Why does this loneliness rise to its sharpest edge as September closes? Because September is not just another month on a calendar. It has been a checkpoint, a cosmic line in the sand. These last weeks have been like a filter, a silent sorting of energies, removing the weights, stripping away the false, testing endurance. And now, here at the threshold, the universe is clearing a runway. Loneliness right now is not exile. It is preparation. You are being emptied so that you can be filled differently in October. The silence is not a curse. It is space being carved for what is about to arrive. This solitude is training. It is the seasoning before the feast. It is the final stretch of preparation before the surge of change that will not be subtle when October begins. Only those who have endured the silence, who have stood without leaning on what no longer served, will be able to step fully into what comes next. And so the ache of loneliness, the quiet nights, the weight of feeling apart, these are not meaningless. They're shaping you for the rarest kind of connection. They're teaching you the value of something most people never truly experience, soul-deep bonds. The hunger that stirs in you when the world feels absent is not for shallow company or half-hearted presence. It is for something sacred, undeniable, and true. That hunger is what makes you different. Many can settle for filling the silence with whatever is convenient, but you cannot. You sense when something is false, when it doesn't ring true in the core of who you are. And so you choose solitude rather than compromise, stillness rather than noise. That choice is not weakness, it is strength. Because when the ones meant for you arrive, when the connections that are soul-aligned appear, you will know them immediately. You will recognize them not by how they look, but by how they feel, by how naturally they meet your spirit without you needing to explain, shrink, or hide. And they will recognize you too, because the hunger in them matches the hunger in you. So if you find yourself standing alone at this moment, do not mistake it for abandonment. It is the proof that you have been refined. It is the confirmation that you have endured the passage and crossed the line. The silence has shaped you, and the glow you carry now is unmistakable. The right ones will see it. The right ones will arrive. And when they do, the loneliness that once felt heavy will reveal itself as the sacred preparation it always was. There's a reason why the path you're walking feels so heavy, and why connection feels so distant right now. When you finally meet the people who are truly meant for you, the bond will feel unlike anything you've ever known. You won't take them for granted, not even for a moment. You won't brush off their presence or treat them as something ordinary. You'll see them for what they really are: rare, precious, extraordinary, because you'll carry with you the memory of what it felt like to live without them. That loneliness you've been experiencing isn't just emptiness. It's shaping you. It's teaching you how to love differently, how to value deeply, and how to hold with reverence the few souls who are destined to walk beside you. So if this month has left you aching for connection, if your hunger to be seen and understood has only grown stronger, don't mistake that as weakness. Don't call it failure. That craving is sacred. It is proof that you are being carved open, prepared, stretched wide enough to hold bonds that many people cannot even imagine. The emptiness is not a flaw, it's fuel. It is the evidence that your heart is being prepared for something far greater than the shallow connections you may have settled for before. September was never designed to make you comfortable. It wasn't meant to soothe you or wrap you in softness. For those who are chosen, for those who carry a higher calling, this month had teeth. It carried a sting that couldn't be avoided. It came in many forms: rejection that left you breathless, sudden silence from people you thought would always be there, arguments that collapsed into endings, or the crushing ache of feeling invisible no matter how much light you carried. Every sting was intentional. Every wound was allowed. Not because life is cruel, but because some illusions in your life had to be broken apart, and the only way to do that was through discomfort. You see, comfort is deceptive. It lets illusions survive longer than they should. It convinces you that friendships with no depth might someday evolve, that relationships built on one-sided giving might eventually balance out, that people who only take from you might one day decide to pour back into you. But the truth is, those illusions were chains. September came to shatter them. The pain wasn't punishment. It was purification. It was the sacred breaking that stripped away what could not continue with you into the next chapter of your life. Yes, some of the losses cut deeper than you expected. Some names you thought were permanent revealed themselves to be temporary. Some silences came from mouths that once promised you forever. It hurt more than you let anyone see. And yet, it had to happen. Those illusions were draining you, blinding you, keeping you tied to stories that had already ended. They weren't meant to walk the road ahead with you. And when a new season carries as much power as October does, chosen ones cannot afford to carry dead weight. That's why September felt so personal, because it wasn't random chaos, it wasn't misfortune, it was targeted, deliberate, a divine pruning. It was a test, a fire meant to see who could survive the breaking without clinging to ashes that no longer held life. And if you're here, if you're still standing at the close of this month, then you have endured something many others could not. You withstood the sting. You walked through the silence. You felt the loneliness press on your chest, and yet you did not collapse under it. That endurance is no small thing. It is the proof that you are ready. The pain of September was the price you had to pay for the clarity of October. Now, standing at the edge of this new chapter, you are not the same as you were before. You are lighter. You are clearer. You are sharper. The illusions that once clouded your vision have fallen away, and what's left is the truest version of you. The version strong enough, open enough, and refined enough to handle what is about to come. And make no mistake, not everyone made it through this refining fire. Some people folded. Some clung to their illusions, and could not pass through the filter. But you did. You endured the stripping away. And because of that, the emptiness you feel right now is not loss. It's victory. It is not evidence that you are abandoned. It is evidence that you have crossed a threshold. As September closes, something invisible but powerful has shifted in your world. It's not just an emotional change. It's not just a mood or a fleeting feeling. It is a barrier, an energetic shield that now surrounds you. Those who once drained your energy, those who once fed on your kindness, can no longer cross it. For months, maybe even years, your heart has been like an open field, accessible to anyone who wandered close enough. But that era has ended. Now, only those who are aligned with your truth will find their way to you. Only those who can match the depth of your love and the purity of your intentions will be able to stand at your side. This shift is not punishment for the ones who have fallen away. It's protection for you. It ensures that as you step into October, as you step into a surge of energy that will demand your fullest self, you're no longer carrying weight that would have broken you down. And so, the loneliness you've carried, the sting you've felt, the silence you've endured, it all had purpose. It was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you. It was meant to clear the path so that when the right souls arrive, you recognize them instantly and you cherish them deeply. Because you will know what it cost to wait for them. You will remember what it felt like to live without them. And when you meet them, when they finally step onto your path, you will not take them for granted. You will love them differently. You will see them for the rare treasures they are. That is why September had to hurt. That is why it had to strip you bare. Because October holds a surge that requires nothing less than your truest, strongest, clearest self. And now at last, that's who you are. There was a time when your light shone like an open flame in the darkness, a beacon drawing in anyone who needed warmth. People who were drawn to you found easy access to your time, your emotions, and your spirit. They walked into your world freely, almost without realizing the privilege they were receiving. Your kindness, your listening ear, your willingness to care, it became a field where anyone could wander in and take a piece of you. You gave because giving was your nature. You offered because you didn't yet understand the sacredness of your own energy. But something profound has shifted. As this month reaches its end, that open field has changed. It's no longer an endless expanse without boundaries. It's become gated, not by bitterness, not by fear, but by wisdom. What was once everyone's to access has now become protected. And that protection isn't a punishment. It's a blessing. That's why it feels so empty now. The texts stop. The calls fade. People who once seemed eager to be in your life begin to drift away. The constant pull on your time, your empathy, your emotional space, it softens, then stops. At first, it can feel like rejection. It can feel like abandonment. It can even stir up old wounds, making you wonder if you've done something wrong. But you haven't. This isn't rejection. It's protection. You're not being pushed out into the cold. You're being moved into warmth. Your warmth. You're not losing people. You're being shown who really belongs. Your field has become sacred ground, and not everyone can enter sacred ground. Not everyone should. The universe, or life itself, if you prefer, has drawn a boundary on your behalf. You may not have spoken it aloud, but somewhere deep inside, your soul requested this shift. And the shift is here. Only those who resonate with your true frequency can pass through now. Only those who come with love, respect, and authenticity can stand in your presence without discomfort. That's why your solitude right now feels so different from the loneliness you've known before. There's a vast difference between being alone and being emptied. Before, you were alone but still surrounded by draining energy. Your body, your mind, your spirit were often weighed down by invisible cords tugging at you from every direction. People's expectations, people's needs, people's projections. Now you're alone in a space that's actually yours. This is not absence. This is presence. It's your presence finally filling your own life. You might notice your thoughts growing clearer. Ideas you couldn't quite hear before suddenly start forming. Your body may feel lighter, as if a pressure you didn't even know you carried has been lifted off your shoulders. Even your sleep may be deeper or more vivid, because your energy isn't being siphoned in the same quiet ways it once was. This is what happens when the constant low-level pull of other people's needs and projections finally stops feeding on you. And here's the part most people don't realize. Those who used to feed on your light, knowingly or unknowingly, can't anymore. They're still out there, still scanning for someone to latch onto, but they can no longer access you. They can't see you in the same way. It's as if you've become invisible to the old patterns, invisible to the people who drained you, invisible to the circumstances that kept you small. But you haven't disappeared. You've ascended beyond their reach. Your frequency has shifted so profoundly that you're no longer on their map. To them, it's like you're gone. To you, it's like you're finally free. That's the quiet miracle of protection. It doesn't just push others out, it raises you up. So if your life feels quieter at the end of this month, don't mistake that quiet for emptiness. The emptiness isn't a void. It's space. It's your clean field. It's proof that you're stepping into a new phase where your energy is guarded and your light is reserved for those who are truly meant to walk beside you. This isn't isolation. It's sovereignty. It's the birth of a new way of living where you decide who gets close and who doesn't. Not because you're closed off, but because your soul has chosen wholeness over depletion. This isn't the end of connection. It's the beginning of a new kind of safety that will shape everything that happens next. The connections coming your way will feel different. They'll be mutual. They'll be steady. They'll feel like support instead of weight. You're not being rejected. You're being protected. And that protection is a doorway. At the end of September, one of the most powerful shifts happening to the chosen ones, those walking a path of higher awareness, higher integrity, or higher calling, is almost impossible to see with physical eyes. It's not about who texts you. It's not about who stays or who leaves. It's about what's happening behind the scenes, in the invisible layers of your life. Forces you can't touch, but that are moving everything around you like pieces on a board. This is why no matter how hard you've tried to connect, certain friendships just won't click. Certain relationships seem to dissolve before they even begin. Opportunities that look promising on Monday can vanish by Friday. It's not because you're unlucky. It's not because you're broken. It's because higher powers, your own higher self, the universe, God, or however you name it, are stepping in to reroute you. Think about it this way. When a child runs toward the edge of a cliff, a parent doesn't ask permission to grab their arm. They pull them back instantly, instinctively. Not because they don't want the child to explore, but because they know danger the child cannot see. In the same way, the unseen forces guiding your path are pulling you back from places that look harmless but aren't. They're steering you away from people who might seem supportive but aren't aligned with your purpose. This season of quiet, this moment of distance, this strange sensation of being both visible and invisible, it's not a mistake. It's your realignment. It's your preparation. It's your soul and the universe working together to clear the field so that when the next wave of your destiny arrives, there's room for it. There's space. There's clarity. Your light is no longer for everyone. It's for those who are ready to honor it. Your energy is no longer a buffet for whoever is hungry. It's a table set for those who are truly meant to dine with you. This is not punishment. This is maturity. This is grace. So, if your world feels quieter at the end of this month, remember this truth. Quiet is not the absence of life. Quiet is the sound of alignment. It's the sound of your field being cleared. It's the sound of protection surrounding you so that what comes next can actually stay. You're not losing. You're gaining. You're not being left behind. You're being brought forward. And when the new people, the new opportunities, the new blessings arrive, you'll see how every silence, every ending, every unanswered message was part of a much larger design to bring you home to yourself first, so you know your worth before anyone else tried to define it. Right now, you may feel as though life has pulled you back, as though doors are closing and conversations are falling silent. It's easy to assume this is bad luck, rejection, or some kind of personal flaw. But the truth is, this isn't happening by accident. You are being pulled back on purpose and not by random chance. This is guardianship. This is divine protection at work. The hands of your angels, ancestors, and spiritual guides are actively stepping in to shield you from what you cannot yet see for yourself. They are blocking pathways that look open but are filled with hidden traps. They are keeping you away from people and situations that would seem harmless on the surface. Yet beneath the surface, they would bind you, drain you, or sabotage the timing of your mission. That is why it feels so frustrating at times. Each door that slams shut feels like rejection. Every conversation that fades away feels like another loss. But what looks like a rejection in the moment is actually a shield rising around you. The doors you can't open are not locked against you in cruelty. They are gates being sealed to keep you safe from sabotage. Some of the people you thought were meant to walk with you might not even realize the kind of effect their presence could have on your path. They may mean no harm, but their energy, their timing, or their choices could have tangled your mission in ways that would have cost you dearly. Your higher self knows this, even when you don't, and it's working with your guardians to orchestrate these blockages in your favor. This is why so many chosen souls right now are experiencing delay. You're trying to move forward, but it feels as though invisible hands are holding you back. And in a way, they are. Those hands belong to your guides, making sure you don't step into places that are not ready for you, or that you're not ready for yet. It is not punishment. It is precision. Think of it this way. If you try to plant a seed in frozen soil, nothing would grow. The seed wouldn't be flawed. The soil simply wouldn't be ready to nourish it. In the same way, your spirit is being held until the ground of your life can support what you are meant to bring forth. When you begin to understand this, the word no takes on a new meaning. It stops sounding like failure and starts sounding like protection. You stop interpreting closed doors as evidence that something is wrong with you and begin to see them as evidence that something is right about you. The rejection you feel is not meant to wound you. It is meant to redirect you. It is redirection wrapped in protection. Every door that closes now is saving you from wasted time, from unnecessary heartbreak, from entanglements that will have left you depleted. What seems like silence is actually sacred orchestration. And here's something even more powerful. This protection is not passive. It isn't just a vague, distant energy hovering around you. It is active, intentional, and direct. Your angels, guides, and ancestors are literally interfering with the paths of others. They are blocking certain people from reaching you. They are preventing connections from forming before the timing is aligned with your calling. So when someone suddenly stops communicating, it's not always because they've lost interest. Often, they've been blocked from accessing you. When someone drifts away, it isn't always because you weren't enough. It's because they were being rerouted for your good. When the right people are meant to enter your life, there will be no obstacles that can stop them. They will not be able to miss you, no matter what. Until then, the space you are in is like a divine quarantine. Not because you are broken, not because you are being punished, but because you are precious. You are being preserved for what comes next. Loneliness, in this sense, is not abandonment. It is reservation. You're being held apart, set aside, prepared for something that not everyone is allowed to touch. As September comes to a close, it is natural to feel uneasy. The quiet feels loud. The emptiness feels heavy, and the temptation is to assume that you have been forgotten or that something inside you is lacking. But this is not a curse. This is a rite of passage. This silence, this stillness, is proof that you are being set apart for something greater. Every sacred place throughout history has been guarded by boundaries. Not everyone could step into the temple. Not everyone could approach the altar. Not everyone was permitted to walk in a holy ground. What you are experiencing right now is that same level of divine protection. You are sacred ground, and not every soul is allowed to enter. That's why the doors are closing. That's why the silence surrounds you. It isn't rejection, it's reverence. It is the universe saying, this one is different. This one is chosen. This one must be kept safe until the time is right. And when that time comes, every door that is meant to open will swing wide with no effort. Every connection that is aligned with your purpose will flow toward you with no resistance. And you will look back on this season of waiting and see that it was never about loss. It was about preservation. It was about timing. It was about making sure that when you step forward, You do so without chains on your ankles, without threads holding you back, without traps disguised as friendships. So let the silence have its space. Let the closed doors stand. Trust the guardianship surrounding you. What feels like delay is actually alignment. What feels like emptiness is actually protection. You are not being abandoned. You are being prepared. And the moment the soil is ready, the seed of your destiny will burst forth, unstoppable and radiant, because nothing that is meant for you will ever be lost. Not everyone was meant to carry the ark. Not everyone was called to climb the mountain. These sacred acts were reserved only for those chosen, those prepared, those anointed to step into such a holy space. In the very same way, not everyone is meant to have access to your life right now. What may feel like loneliness is not a punishment. It's a protection. It is proof that the divine hand has placed you in a season of being set apart, shielded, and reserved for something far greater than what you see in front of you. You're not being forgotten. You're being preserved. The quiet that surrounds you is not empty, it is intentional. In the stillness, alignment is being woven together, threads of destiny forming a pattern you cannot yet recognize. Doors are being built in silence, thresholds that you will one day walk through with clarity and purpose. From where you stand, it may feel like you've been pushed to the sidelines, benched while life continues without you. But that's not what's really happening. What's unfolding is preparation. Think of the silence before the orchestra begins. That suspended moment when every musician waits with poised instruments and held breath. The stillness is not an absence of music. It is the breath before the symphony explodes into life. That is the season you're in now. The pause before destiny's shout. The stillness before your entrance onto the stage of what you were always meant to step into. And here's the truth that changes everything. You're not alone. You're not abandoned. You are not unwanted. You are reserved. Reserved means something sacred is being held for you, untouched, protected, waiting for the right time. Imagine walking into a restaurant and seeing a table set apart from all the others, dressed neatly, untouched, marked with a small but powerful sign, reserved. That table is yours. The universe has placed that sign over your life. No one else can sit there. No one else can touch what has been put aside for you. Only when the time is right, only when the right people, the right relationships, and the right opportunities arrive, will that space be filled. So do not mistake this season of quiet for rejection. Do not confuse divine reservation with abandonment. The end of September is not closing in on you with loss. It is clearing space around you. It is stripping away distractions, removing the noise, and sweeping out the counterfeits so that when October's energy opens, you can step into it freely, unbound, without the weight of what never truly belonged to you. Chosen ones are never left out. They are set apart. And when you begin to understand that, the loneliness that once felt heavy begins to transform into something sacred. You start to see that the silence itself is holy, that what looks like emptiness is actually full of purpose. That waiting is never wasted when it is guided by divine timing. Every pause, every delay, every moment of stillness is sharpening you, refining you, preparing you for the exact alignment that is being drawn to you. So walk into the next season not with fear, but with courage. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are being reserved. Reserved for a destiny that will not pass you by. Reserved for a love that will not break you. Reserved for connections that will not drain you. Reserved for opportunities that will honor the truth of who you are becoming. And when that alignment arrives, you will see with clarity why you had to walk through this season of stillness. Every lonely night, every unanswered call, every empty space will make sense. It will all feel worth it because you will know without a doubt that you were never rejected. You are being prepared. So breathe into this moment. Stand tall in your solitude. Trust that the sign over your life reads clearly, reserved. And when the universe finally pulls back the curtain, you will understand that every quiet second carried you here. This is not the end. This is the divine pause before everything begins. And if you're still here listening, I want to thank you from my heart for your presence. If these words resonated with you, If they gave you even a small measure of hope or strength, I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe if you'd like to walk with me through more of these reflections, and share your own experiences or insights in the comments below. Your journey matters. Your story matters. And together we are learning that solitude is not emptiness. It is the soil where destiny grows. Until next time, take care of your spirit, and remember, you are not forgotten, you are reserved.